Welcome to this comprehensive guide on the rsync command. This tool enables efficient file synchronization with advanced options. Let's begin. So what exactly is rsync? Rsync is a fast, versatile file copying and synchronization tool. It is commonly used in Linux and Unix systems to efficiently transfer and synchronize files between different locations. Now let's explore its key features. First, it uses a delta transfer algorithm, meaning only the changed parts of files are transferred. Secondly, it supports both local and remote file synchronization. Thirdly, rsync preserves file permissions and attributes during transfer. Finally, it's bandwidth efficient, thanks to its compression capabilities. Let's examine the basic syntax of the rsync command. The general structure is as follows: rsync followed by options, then the source, and finally the destination. For example, to copy from a local source folder to a local destination folder, you would use rsync space av space /source /folder space /destination /folder /. To copy to a remote location, use rsync local folder user at remote path to folder /. For copying or pulling from a remote server to a local system, you would use rsync user at remote path to folder / local folder /. Here are some common options used with the rsync command. Under Basic Options, A stands for Archive Mode, which preserves permissions, ownership, and timestamps. V provides verbose output, showing you exactly what's happening during the transfer. R is for Recursive Mode, which includes all subdirectories. Z enables compression of data during transfer, and P shows the progress of the transfer and keeps partial files in case of interruption. Let's move to Advanced Options. Delete removes files in the destination that do not exist in the source. N is for a dry run, simulating the transfer without making any actual changes. U skips files that are newer on the destination. It allows you to specify the remote shell to use, such as SSH, and Exclude allows you to exclude files matching a specific pattern. Let's take a closer look at the Archive Mode option, represented by A. The A option is a shorthand that combines several preservation flags. It includes recursive mode, preserves symbolic links, preserves permissions, preserves timestamps, and preserves owner and group information. Here are a couple of usage examples. To mirror a directory with all its attributes, use rsync /source /folder / backup /folder /. To combine archive mode with verbose output for detailed information during the transfer, use rsync v /source / destination /. Let's explore how to use rsync for remote transfers. To push or copy local files to a remote server, use the command rsync local folder user at remote server /remote folder /. For pulling or copying remote files to your local machine, use the command rsync user at remote server /remote folder / local folder /. Always remember that the trailing slash is very important. It determines whether the directory itself or only its contents are copied. Next, let's discuss how to exclude files during the rsync process. To skip specific files or directories, you can use the exclude option followed by the pattern you wish to exclude. This could include specific files like file.txt, file types like star.log or star.tmp, directories like cache / or tmp/, or even hidden files which are .*. Here's an example of how to use it. To exclude a single file type, use rsync v exclude equals star.log /source /daste. To exclude multiple patterns, use rsync v exclude equals star tmp, exclude equals //source/dast. Now let's explore the dry run mode. The dry run option, or N, simulates the rsync operation without making any actual changes. This allows you to preview what would happen before executing the real command. For example, to preview what would be transferred, use the command rsync delete /source //destination/. The output will list the files and directories that would be transferred or deleted, without actually performing the action. Let's see how to control bandwidth during rsync transfers. Use the limit option to limit bandwidth usage during transfers. This option is specified in kilobytes per second. It's particularly useful for preventing network congestion, prioritizing other network traffic, and scheduling backups during work hours without impacting network performance. For example, to limit the transfer speed to 1000 kilobytes per second, which is approximately 1 megabyte per second, use the command rsyncav limit equals 1000/source/dast. To perform a remote transfer with a bandwidth limit, use rsync limit equals 500/local/folder/user@server/remote/folder/. Here are some recommended best practices for using rsync. For safety measures, always use dry run first to preview changes before executing the actual command. Be careful with trailing slashes and paths, as they can significantly alter the behavior of rsync. Consider using backup to keep copies of overwritten files, especially when making changes to important data. Test delete operations carefully before running them, as deletion is irreversible. Consider using max delete equals num to limit the number of deletions in case of accidental misconfiguration. For efficiency tips, use Z-compression for slow networks, but avoid it for fast local area networks where the overhead of compression might slow things down. Create aliases for common rsync commands to save time and reduce errors. For example, alias backup equals rsync delete. Use partial for large files that might be interrupted during transfer, allowing you to resume the transfer from where it left off. Schedule regular backups with cron jobs to automate the backup process. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.